My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American people.
Every time an asset goes parabolic, then you know that there's a problem because that growth is unsustainable. The relationship between the US and Canada, you can see that it's never going to be the same again. So today I'll be diving into some of the current global events and also look at how that impacts us here. And I'll be looking at the market as well, looking at stocks, looking at crypto, and just general life, issues. How does the global conflict affect you right here at home? How does that affect your purse? How does it affect your budget? So that's what we're looking at today. And we're going to start with the stock market. If you notice that ever since what happened in 2020, you all know what happened. So I'm not gonna state the obvious. The stock market has been on a massive bull run. I mean, it's been going up and up and up every year. So every time an asset goes parabolic, then you know that there's a problem because that growth is unsustainable. And that means that there's going to be a correction at some point in time. There are some indicators you can use to see this. Now, should I be scared of what's going on? Should I pull out my money from the stock market? What should I do? It's up to you to make your own decision. This is not a financial advice. I'm just giving my own opinion. So nothing that I say here should be taken as financial advice. Interest rates. If you've been following the information from the Federal Reserve, you know that interest rate has been steady for some time. There's also a projection of a 25 basis point rate cut coming later in the year, sometime in June or September. Of course, no one knows for sure if that's going to happen. But at this moment, it's just a prediction.
Monetary policy is not on a preset course, and we'll make our decisions on a meeting-by-meeting basis. And, the rate forecast is conditional on the performance of the economy. So if we don't see that progress, then you won't see the rate cut.
Market sensitivity to inflation data is also something to look at. Data shows that inflation is still hot. It decreased in January, but increased in February. But you can't use just one indicator to make a decision. I've always said this. I'm going to say it again. Anytime you want to make a decision, ensure that there's a confluence. That means don't use just one data. If you're looking at inflation, you also have to look at the general outlook of the economy. What happens in the world entirely is going to affect the economy, right? Not just one thing. The geopolitics. There's a lot of uncertainty, unrest in the world at this time. So conflict in the Middle East, that's going to affect the economy. It's already affecting the economy as I speak. So for 2026, position yourself to contribute. When you contribute, when you add value, then that's how you benefit, by adding value. So what skill am I going to learn? How am I going to improve my earning ability? How am I going to network to change, to break into another cycle? How am I going to improve my standard of living? How am I going to? So these are questions that you ask yourself and you work towards it. Artificial intelligence, AI, innovation and impact. How is that impacting the economy? People are already familiar with AI, using AI or investing in AI. Now, this is my own advice. If you don't know what's going on or you are new to artificial intelligence, I would advise it's not too late. Start now. Start with one. Just understand one very well. Is it going to be ChatGPT? Is it going to be DeepSeek? Is it going to be Grok? It's going to be Claude. I don't know what it is, but just pick one, study it, master it, know how to use it, know how to leverage artificial intelligence. Most of the heavy lifting that you're doing today, you're not supposed to be doing that anymore. AI can do it for you. Now, there are those that are skeptical about AI and say, okay, I don't want to use AI, or I think AI is listening to me, or AI is stealing my information. Of course, there are valid concerns around that area, but that doesn't mean you should not learn or understand how to use AI. So how is AI impacting the economy? How is AI impacting jobs and career? There are a lot of people that are concerned that AI is going to take their jobs. Well, not entirely true. AI will take some jobs, but not all. How can I be better at using artificial intelligence? How can I be better at managing artificial intelligence? Crypto market. There has been more than 40% drop from all-time high for Bitcoin in particular. And right now it's kind of bouncing around. It's ranging from 60,000 to 74,000, back and forth. So it's going to continue to range until it breaks above 74,000 or $75,000. That's when there's going to be a change. But if it breaks out of the volume profile where it is right now, and then there's going to be another high. another lower high, something probably about 80,000, 82,000 by the end of the month or next month. I don't know for sure. And if it sustains 82,000 and as a new support, then $100,000. Now, if it holds 100,000 as a new support again, then 120,000 and 125,000, just like that, until it breaks the all-time high. Oil price spiked to about 120, 118 bucks or so, and now it's somewhere ranging around 90 to 100 bucks. 90 to 100 bucks, I think. Yeah. And I think in January, during one of our live streams, we did a technical analysis on oil, and I think we also did on the XY, the dollar index. And I did mention that if the dollar index reverses, that means if it holds support from where it is right now and continues to pump, to rise from here, then there's going to be trouble for the stock market. I did that video in January. If you've not seen it, you can check out my channel on YouTube, where we go live from time to time. So we made a call in January, and it's playing out exactly as predicted. So the IEA, if you know the IEA, so they ensure energy security around the world. And right now they are releasing about 400 million barrels of oil to stabilize the economy, or to stabilize the supply around the world, because the supply has dropped drastically, and it was from 20 million barrels per day to nearly zero. Do you know what that means and the impact it will have on the economy? That's why you are paying more for gas at the pump. Okay, so yeah, geopolitics. Speaking about the relationship between the US and Canada, you can see that it's never going to be the same again. So here, how is the war affecting the oil prices? There is a shrinkage in the oil supply. That's how it's affecting the prices. When there's a shortage of supply, there's going to be high demand. When there's high demand, there's increase in price. So just basic demand and supply playing out here. That's on the surface though, but we all know that there are people benefiting from this crisis behind the scenes. Or how is Canada going to position herself as an energy powerhouse? You know, that's something for the government to consider. How is the oil shortage affecting Canada, since we are also a major oil producer? Yeah, good question. When it comes to oil prices, you have to understand that there is an organization controlling the price and the supply of oil. They are referred to as OPEC. It's a cartel. OPEC is an organization of petroleum exporting countries. So we have 12 member countries right now, and of course, most of these countries are in the Middle East and Africa. So Canada and the US, they are not part of OPEC. So OPEC controls. There's a cartel that controls oil prices around the world. They control supply, they control production, they control, the markets, all these things. OPEC controls that. And how many barrels we produce per day, it's all controlled by OPEC. Why don't the federal government give Canadian subsidy for oil price to help reduce the pressure? Why? Good question. When it comes to, like I mentioned earlier, when it comes to oil, it's a global commodity, right? So it's not something the government can control, because it's beyond their own control. It's controlled by the cartel, by OPEC. So, and Canada is not part of OPEC. The US is not part of OPEC. We're going to stop here for today. If you have any questions, just send me a chat or use the contacts in my bio. Send me an email or anything like that, and we'll respond. So thank you very much. We see you again next time. God bless you.